Whenever you have a plan in life and there's something that you want to execute, you may have a goal, a dream, freaking aspirations for more. You want to start a business, you want to go big on social media. Try your best to keep it to yourself. Now, I'll tell you why this is important, and I'll tell you why you shouldn't really necessarily share things with people. Well, the first question you may ask is, well, why? I'm excited. I can't wait to share it with people. And my response would be, are they excited? I'm not saying keep your plans strictly private to yourselves. There's some people that you can discuss ideas with, and what'll happen is they'll actually catapult you. Your ideas and their ideas, and you guys talking about the ideas actually create something new. It's like spontaneous combustion. And well, for the most part, there are some people that just don't have the capacity to dream like you do. So, when I was in the military, I think I was 20 years old. I wanted to get out. And in the first place, I was in the military just because I had no aim or direction for my life. I kind of just threw the ball in the dark and I said, well, I'm not going to college. We can't afford it. I'm not putting my mother through thousands of dollars worth of student debt. And I'm underskilled. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to the military. And I spent some time there, yeah. And I believe when I was around 20, 21, this is when I realized that I just don't want to be here. Not like I'm a special snowflake and I felt that I was oh so good and I should have been in a better situation. I mean, I'm underskilled. And plus, I don't know myself. And I'm not that impressive to the world or to myself. So it's not like I thought of myself as a special snowflake per se. As though I should just be somewhere more successful. I should be in Beverly Hills and I should have the best car and the best business and the biggest everything. But there was a desire to just obtain something that gave me fulfillment. And putting on a uniform and just doing nonsense wasn't particularly something that gave me that fulfillment. So I had these dreams and aspirations. And I remember sharing it with a total of 4 people: my mother, my father, my brother, and one of my closest friends at the time. He was my best friend. My mother, my father, and my brother all said, oh, because I planned on getting out. I told them I'm getting out. I'm gonna make them kick me out early, and I don't care if I keep the benefits. And all of them were just so fearful. And I was angry at the time. No, not so much, but they told me, no, you should stay. There's a lot of benefits. Just stay, see it through. And I was so angry. Now, when I told my best friend, mind you, he's an entrepreneur. After high school, he just went and started his own business. When I told him my plans, he said, dude, you can do it. Leave now. Heck yeah, leave. Anything you put your mind to, you can do it. And well, I tell this story because that's really important. You need to be able to spot people that can dream versus people that can't dream. Spot people that are in the loop. Spot people that are out of the loop. People that can think. And then you need to see people that can't think. When you can identify these type of people, it's very important because the last thing you want to do is tell your dreams and aspirations to people that don't have the capacity to even dream for their lives. Or even worse, had a dream, but fear was clouding their judgment, so much so that they decided to play the safe route. Like, oh my gosh, get away. Well, and I mean, in life, not all of us are so blessed to just take leaps, right? Some of us have children, and some of us have really difficult lives. I've been blessed in my life to where I've had opportunities and I've had the means to take extremely risky plays, knowing that I'll have a couch to sleep on. Worst case scenario, right? So, I tell you that story because I had a very small inner circle. I still do. It's extremely small. It's extremely small. There's a reason why you have a dream. I mean, there's a story of two men. One man is so excited to start whatever it is that he wants to start. He wants to start a business and he's so excited. He's telling people how he's going to do it. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to do it like this. And then when this happens, I'm going to do it like this and this. And more as time went on and he kept talking, people stopped believing him because evidently he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't taking action. And if he was, it wasn't necessarily pertaining towards the achievement of a goal. So on a long enough time horizon, people just said, eh. And there's nothing worse than having people not believe in you and think you're, one, doubt you and think you're a fraud. Because it does restrict you in some way, especially if you don't have a stack of evidence that states you are who you say you are. And well, there's another man who wanted to start a business, and instead of telling the world, he just started immersing himself in the research and study. And he spent years and months obsessing over it. And what happened was, as a result of that obsession, he just built exactly what he wanted to do. And then he told everyone, here's the finished product. And they're like, whoa, you did that? Well, there's a fine line here. On one hand, you have tell people, never do it. On the other hand, you have tell no one and do it. If you don't like either, you could exist right here in the middle where you can tell people and still do it. But you have to really understand, why am I telling people? Why is there a need to tell my dreams and aspirations and give people the blueprint to which I plan on executing? Well, why? And you have to be very careful, because sometimes what we're searching for is this congratulations. And if we get that too soon before we've actually achieved something, the desire to achieve will no longer be there, right? There's a beautiful saying and it goes, a mother loves you for who you are. A father gets you to prove that you're worthy. And I think there's a lot of power behind that. The thing about aim and going forward in life is, one, it's beneficial to shoot at something, to identify a target and try our best to hit that target. I mean, it makes us feel capable, worthy. And that's another step away from being fraudulent, which I would say is a great deal. If you could find a way to take a step to the left and turn your back on fraudulence, then I'd say that's a great deal. The reason that we have to prove ourselves sometimes is not necessarily for other people's sake, it's for our sake. Because I believe that what we all have in the back of our heads, until we learn to live above this voice, is our shadow. It's the deepest parts of ourselves that whisper and continuously feed us this message that we are not, we cannot. Doubt, fear, limitation, boundaries, and restrictions are built in place and are created to hold us back, and we never get rid of this voice, nor do we eradicate it or kill it. We just learn to live above it. It's always going to be here. We're always going to fear, right? We're always going to doubt if things are going to work out. We're always going to question if whatever it is that we're doing is worth it. But in doing so, if we can achieve whatever it is that we set our sights on, it gives us this reinforcement that, maybe I can. And I'd say acknowledgement that you can will always supersede acknowledgement that you cannot. Because on the one hand, that you accept that you can, you enter a space of infinite boundlessness to where anything is attainable, to where it seems as though nothing is too far out of reach. And on this side, if you step into this space of I cannot, or you begin to dwell in this space of uncomfortability, desolateness, and misery. So when you have a dream and when you have this desire, don't get so excited to tell people just so that they can feed you some type of congratulations, just so that they can give you a feeling that you're in search of, almost as though you've done something worthy to deserve it. The beauty of feeling worthy enough to deserve a feeling is that in and of itself, we have to earn it. And when we earn it, we transform, right? I mean, we have this notion, right? People say, if you want to transform your life, love yourself. I kind of disagree. And it's all depending on the individual, right? Everyone works differently. But I'd say there is nothing worse than being flawed, completely mentally unstable, emotionally in distraught, spiritually disconnected, financially broken, and physically out of shape. So much so that you look into the mirror, and the best way for you to feel good about yourself is to create a delusion and feed yourself into a lie that goes, I love me for who I am worthy of love. Because what you're doing, despite being flawed, when you're doing this, is you are acknowledging a creature, yourself, that has the potential and capacity to grow. And you are making a decision to say, since I am not growing, I am going to welcome this feeling that I'll get once I grow. Because evidently I haven't grown and I don't feel good. And so to make me feel better, I'm going to try to justify how screwed up I am. And in my attempt to justify that, look into the mirror, see something completely flawed, and yet say, I love you. In an attempt to do that, I probably might lose myself, and I might lie to myself, and I might try to lie to the world so much so that I forget who I am. That's what's happening. And I'm so against that because I've done it. I was completely flawed when I was in the military. I was a terrible human. And I try to rationalize why I was so pathological and why I was this and this. And it got to a point where I said, well, I'm not good enough. Evidently, I'm hurting people. Evidently, I'm hurting myself. Why do I act like this? And only through acceptance of who I actually was I able to say, no, I don't love myself. I got to earn it. And that's when I started to change. And well, that's similar to telling people about our dreams and our goals and our aspirations and our plans. We tell them, they get impressed, they compliment us, they congratulate us, almost as though we've already achieved the goal. And so we're like, oh, well, this feels good. Maybe I don't need to achieve the goal. Yes, you do. Focus. Or just don't tell anyone so that one day, when you finally work so hard to build something, you could just show people. And they're so impressed and blown away. And then you can get that feedback loop. That's the difference between instant gratification and delayed gratification. Instant gratification goes, I have a plan, I want to execute it, and I'm going to tell people right now so that I can feel good. That's instant gratification. Delayed gratification is, I have a plan and I'm so excited. And I want to tell people, but I'm not going to because I'm more focused on execution. But don't worry, when I finally execute and it's come to life, then I'll tell people, I'll show people the finished product. And in doing so, they'll reward me with this congratulations and this thumbs up, and they'll give me flowers for my hard work. And I'll feel something that I felt like I was deserving of as I was working so hard towards obtaining whatever it was I wanted to obtain. And well, that's important, you know. Because we all dream of a better life, of a better world. Maybe we want to start a business. Maybe we just want money. Maybe we want to grow to be the best version of ourselves. Maybe we want to inspire people. Perhaps we really want to change. Because if not us, then who? I mean, whatever that dream is for you, you hold on to it. You were given that for a reason. Just hold on to it and just try moving forward, executing a plan where you don't tell anyone. You don't need the instant feedback loop, the instant gratification. You don't need this emotion to help you keep going. Just keep it private. It's much more impressive, anyways. The more private you are, the lower the chances of people trying to tear your dreams apart. Because the worst case, you tell your dreams to the wrong people, and their fear, their inability to dream, their weakness, they push that on you. And when they push that on you, what happens is, now maybe you might believe them. Well, damn, should I be scared? Should I doubt myself? Should I just see it through all the way? Should I just play it safe? Because within all of us exists a doubt and a fear, a feeling of inadequacy. I mean, we're just a speck in this great big rock. It's there. We just have to learn to live above it. So the last thing we need is to get fed into someone's projection. They're just projecting themselves on us. Their fears, their failures, their life placed on us as though we are them. But I'm not you, nor do I have a desire to be like you. I'm me. And that's what has made life so fulfilling, is that I'm me and I'm not you. And that's a magnificent message to feed yourself into. At all costs, keep your dreams private, no matter what you do. And if you've already told people, then don't continue telling them. And if you plan on telling people, do yourself the favor of telling people who have the capacity to dream at your level. I promise you, because if you tell your dreams to people that don't have the capacity to dream, they will see it as keep dreaming. To you, it's a blueprint and a plan that you're about to execute. To them, it is merely fantasy. You don't want that. You don't need it. Well, you might get anger, and again, it's a potent feel when you tell your dreams to the wrong person. I mean, it'll keep you going. It'll shoot you forward. It'll propel you to take the leaps and the risks and the chances that no one else will take. And also what anger does is it destroys you. On a long enough time horizon, it completely destroys you. It's toxic. So you don't need to put yourself in a position where you can be angry, though it is a great feel. Simply be in a position where your obsession over your dream and your constant desire to bring that dream into reality is the thing that keeps you going. You stay up at night just studying, learning, creating, and then you play the long game. There's a saying that I heard, and an old friend told me this, and it goes, the richest place is the grave, because when you visit the graveyard, you see hundreds of dreams that have washed away. That's the richest place on earth, not the bank, not Miami, it's the graveyard, a place where so many dreams died. And I said, my gosh, how magnificent. So don't add more value to the grave. There's enough broken, lost dreams that washed away and died. Be the person that takes that dream and brings it into reality. I want you to remember something. Future you is betting on the current you to go. Fast forward 10 years in the future and imagine that future you can look back at this version of you. And he's just watching through a TV screen, or she. And future you is just saying, yes, I remember this moment. Come on, take it. Do it. You can. Because future you has gone through all of this. That version of you knows what you're capable of. And that version of you knows your fears. And that person is rooting for you to just do it. because he's still alive. That version of you is alive. And he or she is A-okay. So whatever fears you have, don't let it hinder you or restrict you. Don't let it be a burden and a baggage, but instead use it. Leverage that fear and say, I'm gonna freaking die one day. I'm so scared that I'll never grow to my potential. Boom, let's go. Well, you use that to catapult forward. Good luck in your endeavors. Whatever you decide to do, just believe me, I am rooting for you all the way. That's all I got.